Hey, and welcome back to the Magic Animal Club podcast with me, Squidoodle.
And me, Stampy Cat.
Stampy, what have you done this week?
I knew that was coming. So, just before we started the podcast, I suddenly thought, I can't even think what I've done this week. Like, for me, it just feels like we did the last podcast yesterday. And I was like, I can't think of one thing I've done. I can't even think of what I've recorded. I can't think of anywhere I've been. And so I said to Squid, don't ask me what I've done this week because I'm going to pull a complete blank. And so, the first thing you ask.
Sorry, mate. Do you know what you've eaten? Can you remember what you've eaten this week?
Oh, actually, I went out yesterday. So we're recording this on a Monday. I went for a Sunday roast yesterday with the family. And I had a pork roast, and it was all right. It wasn't actually that good, but it was good. It was okay, but I expected better. Yeah? So that was...
Was it a carvery?
Yeah. No, that was good. I went for a carvery.
Oh, I love a good carvery. This is quite funny, actually, because I was chatting to Speedy, my editor, last night, and he's from Portland, and he basically has never had any proper English food since he's lived here, since he was about, I can't remember, quite a while anyway, since he was a kid, they moved over, and he was asking me, like, you know, name an English food, what's good. So the first thing that I said to him is a good Sunday roast, and he didn't know, he's never had a Sunday roast before. I was like, oh, that's not possible. You cannot live in England and not have a Sunday roast. They're amazing. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, so what else food are this time? That's what I wanted to ask you. I was going to say, name me an English food which you enjoy.
Well, can I first tell you the best way to eat a Sunday roast?
Go on then.
And I want, before you shout out an outrage or laugh at me, let me explain, okay? So the best way to eat a Sunday roast is in a baguette.
What?
It's in a baguette.
A baguette?
Okay, let me explain. A baguette.
Okay, I'm struggling here, mate. No, I'm struggling. Come on. You have to pull this back.
I'll bring it back. I'll reel you in. I'll explain. So, when I used to work in the pub, you know, I used to work every Sunday, you know, as well as other days, but every Sunday, and, you know, we'd be serving all of the roast. And so, you know, there'd always be, like, lots of meat left over and stuffing and things, you know, just kind of there. And so what I would do, okay, is I'd have a baguette, and I'd have it with, like, pork, like a bit of apple sauce, and, like, stuffing. Basically, all of the things you'd normally have in a roast, but have it in a baguette, and then get a little pot of gravy, and then, like, dunk the baguette into the gravy, and eat it that way, and it is amazing. And I had it, like, every single Sunday for, I don't know, probably about 4 years. Yeah. I had that.
So it was good then.
Beautiful.
No,
it was absolutely amazing.
I've got to admit, you are right, because I'm the exact same, but on Christmas. So every Christmas we have a big Christmas dinner, which is the same sort of thing as a Sunday roast. It's just a bit more fancier. And then the day after, you have like loads and loads of leftovers, and you have loads of like sandwiches and stuff like that. So what I normally do then is I like to have a nibble and have all like the leftovers from Christmas dinner. And it's absolutely amazing. It's so nice. It's just like a big combination of everything, but in a sandwich. So yeah,
it's
you're
good.
not wrong.
And then dunking it in the pot of gravy. And I got to give a shout out to Nettie, because she was my manager, and she was the one who really popularized that form. And you know, it got to the point where like customers were ordering it, because we'd be there on our lunch break, and people would be, oh, what's that you're eating? Where's that on the menu? I was like, oh, it's the Stampy special. You gotta ask. Oh, dear.
So what else then? What else English food? Let's just say.
Well, fish and chips is like the one everyone looks at in terms of like as a meal. There's a lot of like
that's
things
more stereotypical,
things like,
though, isn't it? Like, some fish and chips, mate.
Are you talking about things that we actually... if we talk about things that we actually eat, like I would associate one of the most English foods as curry, which obviously sounds crazy.
I said that to him, he went, oh no, that's Indian, mate.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, it is Indian, but it's so popular here. You know, and that's one of the things that, like the food, where generally the places I've been in America, people always argue whenever I say something like this, but the places I've been, generally the food is better in America. I have found, like in a proper restaurant, food is higher quality, but they can't do curry. I've not had a nice curry in America. And I'm sure there are places. I'm sure that there's someone you know who cooks an amazing curry, and I'm sure there's a restaurant near you, everyone listening. But in my personal experience, okay, I have not found a good curry in America, whereas in England, like any town you go to, there's going to be a decent curry place.
Yeah, I mean, not even any time. If you drive like 10 minutes down the road in any direction, anywhere in Britain, I'm pretty sure there's like a place where you can get a curry. So that's saying something. It is kind of one of them foods that we've taken on as a nation and just kind of, harnessed it as our own. But yeah.
Well, we've even like added to like things like chicken tikka masala. That's not even Indian. Like I think it was made up in like Manchester or something, or Birmingham. Like it was made up in England.
The back alleys of Manchester.
Yeah, so it's not even an Indian dish, but it's just on like all of the menus. So I think that's what I think. Like, in terms of like as in a type of food that you might have a restaurant for. There's specific things like I mentioned, like scones and things like that like Cadbury's
desserts.
chocolate, which are English, but they're not like you wouldn't go to like a Cadbury's chocolate restaurant or a scones restaurant.
They do have a Cadbury's restaurant though. I'm pretty sure they do.
A restaurant?
Yeah,
in like you sit down at a table.
Yeah. What do you want? Say chocolate? Yeah, how did you know? Give me some chocolate.
One portion of chocolate to start. For my main, I'm going to have
melted
chocolate with a bit of chocolate on the side, and then I'll have some chocolate for dessert because I'm naughty.
Yeah. So curry then. I'm gonna say curry as well. I agree with curry. It's very nice. But anyway, what else you done, Stamps?
Something that happened. This happened is I announced that we have finished, and it will be launching soon, season 2 of Wonder Quest.
Whee!
So I put up like a very little teaser trailer of basically the animated character jumping around shouting Wonder Quest is back. And I kind of did like a let's talk kind of talking about it. So I mean, it's a bit weird, like there was the reason why Wonder Quest was so delayed, and I'm not going to get into it here because I'm probably not even allowed to, but there's a whole load of behind the scenes drama as to why season 2 took so long.
Some falling out.
I'm not going to go to no, it's nothing like that. It's all just like, it's all technical boring drama, which just happens when there's a lot of people working on something. And like, it's got to a point where, Wonder Quest has actually been ready for a very long time.
Okay.
But there's been things stopping us from uploading it, but that's all past now, and so we're ready to launch it. We're just waiting to pick the exact date and kind of how we want to announce everything properly. So it's happening. Wonder Quest season 2 is happening.
How long's it been
after all this time
since the last sort of season?
It must have been at least a year.
Wow.
Or coming up to a year. It's been a lot longer than we hoped, but it's way better. I can say this pretty definitively, like season 2 is much better than season 1, even though you're not in it, Squid. Despite that fact, it's still I think it's more dramatic, and I think it's just way funnier. I love funny things, and I think that there's just a lot more laughs in it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that when people watch it, they're gonna forget about the long wait and hopefully just enjoy it. But yeah, it's coming back, and then there's I Wonder, the animated show's coming back as well. So yeah, that's gonna be an exciting time when the first episodes finally get online for that.
Nice. Who gets the million player button for Wonder Quest?
I don't know. Like, I don't want it because there's so many people that work on it, and like, because I've got the one for my channel anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's someone else working.
I just had like an image of like you and Adam like fighting for it, like it's mine.
Yeah, like that could be an episode of Wonder Quest. Well, actually, we were talking about that for this channel. We still haven't sorted that out, have we? But when we get a million,
it seems like it's gone on forever though. Like we seem to have just been like hovering around the mark for absolutely ages.
Well, they had the purge, didn't they? They removed loads of subscribers, didn't they, on YouTube? Do you remember that?
That was so annoying.
And it wasn't even and everyone thought it was getting rid of inactive subscribers.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was a bug. Did you know that?
Yeah,
it was just a bug.
YouTube like tweets out saying, "We'll tell you more when we know more." It's like, what? You're supposed to know everything. Like,
it's your website.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't know, basically a load of people got unsubscribed to a bunch of
how many
channels.
did you lose?
I think I lost I think it was like 75,000 or something. I lost.
Yeah.
On like my main channel.
Yeah. Mine was 40k, and then I got 10k removed for I just reached 400,000 on the second channel, and I was like thanking everybody in like a video, and then it took like 10,000 away, and then I was back down to like 390, and loads of people were commenting saying, "Squid, you haven't reached 400 yet." Like new people that came in. Like, what's she on about?
It's always delayed on the website anyway, so whenever like you're doing it exactly, it's not live, the sub count on the website.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of times you'll be like, oh, I reached it, and they're like, no, you got like 20 more to go. What are you on about?
Oh dearie me. I also had a look because we haven't really spoke about this since then. It's probably nothing to do with like the podcast or anything, but I had a look at the Islands of Eden recording that we did, and I just want to say that I feel sorry for your Stamps. Like. I'm
for
not
me,
joking.
why?
Well,
oh, that glitch.
Yeah, the massive
So
glitch
what? I
that
wasn't
happened.
over exaggerating,
No.
was I? When I said I
Like,
felt sick.
My eyes were hurting, like editing that thing. I had to use like the littlest amount, and I put a disclaimer on. But man, I've never seen anything like that before. That was crazy.
And I was there like looking at it like not even on like a small computer screen. I was looking at it on my TV, and I honestly I had to look away. I was like, sorry, Squid, I can't look at the screen anymore.
That was terrifying.
That was painful. So just to say, basically, if people haven't seen it, there was a glitch in Island of Eden where my screen just went crazy. It just turned into like a
demon.
rave disco. And just went absolutely all over the place. So yeah, that was unpleasant to experience.
Oh dear. So yeah, what you got coming up this week then, Stamps? You got anything new to talk about?
Well, so I kind of remembered why I don't remember what I've been recording much is because I've basically been working a lot on one big video. So I can kind of say what it is now, because if you saw my most recent Lovely World video, as I'm sure you did, Squid, because you watch every Lovely World video.
Yeah, religiously. Religiously.
Well, why don't you explain to everyone what I'm doing?
Something
if you
about
guess this right.
hit the target, stealing a dog, so you'd have the big fight with him.
Am I that predictable? No, so I'm building a movie theater. I'm building a cinema.
Okay.
In my lovely world, and then I'm going to build a film studio,
okay.
And I'm going to be making a film inside of my lovely world. So my helpers are going to be kind of dressing up in different skins, and we're basically going to act out a film inside of sets inside of the world, and then we're going to have like a premiere in the cinema in my lovely world.
Nice.
Which is cool, which I'm really looking forward to. And like, I'm going to use it to kind of talk a bit about storytelling, and I'm going to show people the scripts and stuff, and kind of explain, a little bit on how a real film would be made, I guess, and like edited. And it's just taken a huge amount of time. So, I'm almost getting it done. No, it's only like 10 minutes or something, but the idea is it's supposed to be like a giant blockbuster film, but just really squashed down. So it's like really quick scenes that's supposed to kind of have all of the plot points that a big blockbuster would have. So it's silly, it's stupid, it's goofy, like it's not, this big dramatic thing. It's kind of a bit of a parody, I guess, of like a big blockbuster film.
So wait,
that one video is taking ages.
Who's gonna play the voices then? Like, is it just gonna be you doing like all the voices?
It's gonna be me doing all these different voices.
Wow.
You might get a better idea of what it's gonna end up being like if you think about that.
It's gonna be like a glorified puppet show.
Squid. I had so much fun doing all of the different voices. I think it's gonna be funny. Like, I hope people realize it's supposed to be funny, because it's not like, oh, here's a joke. It's just it's just all a bit silly and goofy. There's like it starts with like a dramatic sword fight, but it's in Minecraft, so there's just these two people like just swinging their sword back, and it's like clang clang clang. It's like, you'll never win. Like, so that's kind of what has been taking up a lot of my time this week. It's kind of like, I like the idea. It's like making a film. It's like making a video inside of a video, which I just kind of like the idea of the fact that I filmed this entire film with different characters inside, and the sets aren't like big outdoor sets, it's like, just free walls, like fake trees in the background, these like weird backdrops and stuff. So
2D
yeah,
trees.
That's kind of what I've been working on. So it's going to be a while before that kind of comes out, because I haven't even finished building the cinema yet. Then I've got to build the film studio, but I've kind of got it all planned out. So that's kind of what I've been focusing most on the channel this week. How about you?
Nice. Well, I've been actually having fun with like stuff in real life. I bought a new robot.
What? Sorry, Squid. Can you slow down a second? Real life? No, you lost me at real life. I don't. I have vague memories, happy memories of real life, but I'm not.
It's not
sure.
so much like in real. But it is real life. But it's just kind of like I've been going mad buying like Hoovers, which is kind of weird.
You've been going mad buying Hoovers.
Yeah. So a friend told me about like
This
obviously.
isn't the Squiddy tips, is it? Have you actually?
No, this is real life.
How many Hoovers have you bought in the last week?
Well, no, I bought one, okay, and then it's one of these robot Hoovers, so it basically does everything.
Oh, is it like a Roomba thing?
Yeah, but it's kind of like a high tech version. So it basically it does all the room. It does like all around the perimeter, and then it like works its way into the middle. So if you have like a really open planned house, it'll just do everywhere. And then when it's done, it just goes back on its charging point, and then just basically says, "I've cleaned your house, thank you." You have to like.
Does it have that voice? Is that its voice?
It has a little.
Okay, I'm gonna start cleaning now. Here I go.
Well, when you set it to clean, it actually says, "I clean house now." That's what it says. Like, but obviously,
Honestly?
not in that voice. It displays the message, but that's what it says.
Ah. I wish you could record a message.
Oh, that'd
I
be
wish you could
amazing.
record like a voice it does when it's picking something up, so you could make it go nom 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 nom. I love that. Nom, nom, nom.
So yeah, I've had one of them go around. I'm really impressed with it. So I bought another one, and I had a look online, and people have had like jousting wars with it. So I think I'm gonna do like a little bit of a jousting like vlog with them. You're gonna set them going at both opposite ends of the room, and then what you do is you attach balloons to them, and then like a pin at the front and a balloon at the back. And because they're like when they meet each other, they kind of turn and spin. I'm gonna have like a joust off.
Do you get like do you get lonely or bored much, Squid?
Oh dear.
I bought myself a friend.
I mean, the Hoover is amazing though. Like, fair play to it. Like, I've done nothing, and the house is like spotless. That's the main reason why I got it, and I'm fascinated with it because it does everything on its own. I don't have to tell it, and you can even like tell it to go at a certain time, like every day. So it just wakes itself up, cleans the house, and then puts itself back on charge and goes back to sleep, which is like just really good. So yeah, I bought a couple of them, which is pretty awesome. So
I think my room would be too messy to do that. I'd come in and it would be choking on a bunch of cables that I left on the floor or something. Like, no.
yeah, you gotta kind of like move stuff out of the way, otherwise, it just goes round it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it was actually pretty funny because it moved one of the cat's balls like all the way to the end of the room, and it tipped it over a bit, and then it started to like eat all the cat food because it like spilt the ball. So it's like half the cat food was missing. Like, oh, the vacuum cleaner's hungry again.
You just got another pet to feed now, your Hoover.
Yeah. But yeah, channel. Yeah, not real life, not Hoovers. What's going on in the channel? More VR, which I've been kind of working towards, which is pretty awesome. I had a pretty embarrassing story with the VR, which was kind of an eye-opener. So there's this new game came out called Rec Room. So it's kind of like a recreational sort of like game where there's like, imagine like ping pong, but also disc golf, which is like frisbee. You have to throw them at like the little golf little flag thing, and that's how you get a point. But as you come in the room, your microphone is on automatically. So I didn't know this. So I'm there going, "Hello everybody, welcome back to Squiddy Plays." And there's like 6-7 people around me. There was like kids going, "Who said that? Who's that?" And I'm like, I can hear myself talk. Why can I hear myself talk? Anyway, so I carry on. I think nothing of it. And then I walk like further into this room. And then these two, I think someone commented saying they were Korean. There were 2 Korean girls, and you can pick up cameras in game and film you. And there was this girl pointing a camera at me, talking in like Korean, and she was just filming me. And I was like, what's she filming me for? So it's carried on, and I got into a game with this random guy. I ended up commentating to him for like the whole video, and I ended up coming back to like the lobby and speaking some more, and there's this grown man going, who's that mate? Like at the end of the video. So yeah, that was quite embarrassing.
Do you think any of them recognized who you were, or were they just thinking, who's this guy blabbering on?
Yeah, pretty much. Because it's weird. It's so weird because you can commentate on your own, or like I am now with you, perfectly fine, but it's something so weird about having like a lobby full of people like listening to you. I don't know, I didn't really like it.
Even though if you're live streaming or uploading a video, people are going to listen to you. I think it's when like you know they're listening to you, but when it's like unexpected people listening to you live,
yeah,
it's kind of, I don't know, it's just embarrassing, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
just
exactly. Because they don't know what you're on about. Like, obviously, like you said, if you're live streaming, they know they're here because they want to hear you play games.
They're in on it. They're part of the game.
But
they're
a random guy
problem.
playing with his kids, and there's a guy in the background going, just doesn't work. Just doesn't really work.
Yeah,
so.
no, I've had that before. I've accidentally had my mic on and I'm there chatting away. I think I've done it on Plants vs. Zombies once. Like everyone's there speaking strategies. I'm like, wait a minute, can they hear me? Those things with the Kinect on Xbox One as well.
Oh man.
Like it just loves recording you any moment it can. So you gotta like really make sure like you go into the settings and well, I've just unplugged it now. But before that, you had to make sure you go in the settings and say just never have the Kinect never ever on, because normally the safe way to know you're not being heard is to pull your headset out.
Yeah.
But now with the Kinect, it's like nope. There's one other thing you gotta check to make sure it's not picking up.
I mean, that's one of the things that I never really used, to be honest with you. I got that for the Xbox One like everyone did, but I kind of just took it off straight away. I don't think I ever used it. So
I mean, the only thing I think it was good for is the like the just the voice stuff. Like sometimes if you're watching a movie, there's times when that has been handy, but you don't need this big expensive like IR blaster camera thing to do. You could have a microphone on the controller and have the exact same effect. So I think the voice stuff is good, but they could just put a microphone on the console or in the controller or something, and not have to have this big expensive box. But I mean, I think Microsoft have pretty much given up with the Kinect at this point anyway, so it doesn't really.
I mean, not even that.
It
was just like Big Brother watching you all the time. It was that thing like there's a camera in the room and it was like, can someone see me? Is it on?
Yeah, I mean, it's just having a camera. I mean, I guess it's not much different having a webcam on your computer. In fact, it's probably the chances of someone hacking and seeing you through the webcam is much more likely if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's the fact that it's in your bedroom or in your living room just makes it seem a lot more personal, I guess. And there are times when I'd get called on Skype on my Xbox and I'd answer it and boom, I just suddenly see my face staring. I'm like, whoa, hello. And then like it tracks your head and like zooms in on your face and starts zooming in. It's like, whoa, it's like a horror movie.
You can't get away from me. I know where you are.
So what I've actually got now is a little toy Minecraft horse that I've just put with its face staring at it. So if anyone ever calls me and it pops up, they just see like a Minecraft horse just staring back at them, blocking the way.
There were there's a lot of videos online as well with there's like the infrared sensors as well with like seeing ghosts as well. Like they do the thing where they'd like track. Do you have to like set it up by it tracks your face or whatever? But anyway, there's a few videos of
like it's got face recognition.
Yeah, I think it did that, but it like zoomed in on this random blob of heat in his room, which was shaped like a person. There's loads of them videos online, which is kind of weird.
Like the technology in them is crazy. Like it's really smart. It's really advanced. They didn't work out one game for it. They didn't work out one game like. I mean, there was some silly fitness things that, seemed okay, and, there was some gimmicks, but there wasn't one good game for it. You know, if they did that and someone showed this is a way how you can make a fun, compelling game with it, then I reckon it could have carried on. But, really the only thing was the voice stuff.
There was a thing. There was a game.
Yeah, no, you're right there, Squid. I'm glad I got you here because otherwise we wouldn't have this expert analysis. That's why you're here, Squid, to work this stuff out.
What game was it now? It was like it was like a little kid. And
Milo. You're thinking of Milo.
That's it.
The Peter Molyneux thing.
Yeah, that never happened, did it?
No. That looked a little bit weird. So what this is, so someone called Peter Molyneux who he used to be he used to work at Microsoft, and then before that he was at Lionhead, who made like the Fable games. He made Black vs. White. He made kind of like he worked at Bullfrog, I think, and kind of did like Theme Hospital and games like that.
Game's amazing.
And Goddess. So
Populous.
He was working, his team was working on something called Milo, which was basically an interactive boy that you could like speak to and show pictures to, and would talk to you and stuff, and it all just did seem a little bit odd, but like it's the kind of stuff that you see and I'm like it's so scripted, the videos they had of it, and you just know that like the things that they're saying to it, it knows what you're gonna say, and it's just gonna there's only set things it can answer back to. Like it was it was a very lofty proof of concept, and which never turned into to anything. So yeah, if you just YouTube Connect Milo or Natal Milo, because that's what the Connect was called before it was called the Connect. Yeah, you can see that video.
Yeah, I mean, it was all very, like, as you said, it was all kind of very scripted. I never really knew how it was going to work ever. Like, what was he ever going to do with, kind of like just talking to a kid? There was no, obviously games you could play with it. It was all very, it was just kind of weird. But I'm kind of...
Well, I don't think it ever was too big. I think it was them
just
showing...
kind of like an interactive
This is
experience.
what the Kinect could do,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, I don't think it was ever planned to be released. Anyway, let's not get down the rabbit hole of talking about games too much.
Okay.
Because people don't like... For some reason, even though they watch us, people don't like us talking about games too much. But I was going through the Facebook page.
Breathing in games.
I was going through the Facebook page, and there was a really long post by someone that asked loads of questions. I thought we could kind of do a little bit of a mini Q&A and quick fire through them.
Yeah.
But then there was someone else who suggested a Squiddy tips, and so I thought this might be a good time to have a gear shift and go and do a Squiddy tip. So this is suggested from Sarah Jane Giles, and she suggests Stampy or Squiddy time. I'll let you take the reins though. How do you sneeze without a nose?
I thought this was like actually serious like Q&A here. How do you sneeze without a nose?
It is.
Through your mouth. There we go. That's a quick fire.
Yeah.
Plasm coming out, Next.
Okay, right. So this is this is from Amanda and Eliza. It's either Eliza or Alyssa. I'm not sure. So one of those two. But they're sisters, and they've done a bunch of fan art for me, so I kind of recognize their names. But they kind of wrote out kind of a list of things. And so here they are. I'm just going to kind of go through them.
Yeah.
I'll kind of let you answer all the ones you can, and if you want me to jump in, I will. So question number 1. Is there going to be any more merchandise? In brackets, like a t-shirt with the Magic Animal Club profile picture on.
I mean, like at the moment, no, we haven't actually discussed any merch or anything like that. I don't know. It's the Magic Animal Club's never really been about like we've never really branded it because Meat and Stamps have our own sort of merch sort of thing. So I don't know. We haven't really got any plans. We do. Wait.
Yeah.
We do have a puzzle. We do have a jigsaw with the Magic Animal Club. But yeah, that's about it, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a jigsaw, which is really cool. It's a really cool picture on the jigsaw puzzle. And what about any like personal Squid merch? Is there anything on the horizon?
I mean, I don't want to say for sure or not yet, but there is an Insomnia coming up, and I may have a table, kind of like a booth where I can sell stuff. So
You're selling a Squid Nugget table. Squid Nugget branded table for storing all of your needs.
Oh, man. So yeah, if I do get that, then I'll probably sell some merch there. Just because I can. So yeah, but I haven't got anything planned at the moment. It takes a while. Like merch isn't the thing where you can exactly just say, right, I want to do this, and then we can just, have the merch the next day. It's one of the things we have to kind of plan it. You got to test the quality, so you've got to kind of send the print away to be printed back. You got to check, if it's good. Is the source reliable? Is the source going to be able to send you the stuff on time? And then that's just if we want to do it ourselves. Like I've done a lot of merch myself with the posters and the t-shirts and stuff like that, and it is quite hard to do. It does take up a lot of time. We normally use Maker, to be honest. I mean, any merch that me and Stamps have, it's either on Spreadshirt or Maker, which you'll be able to find, on both of our YouTube channels in the description, I'm sure. So, yeah.
But the big problem is kind of shipping for, it's hard to find a place that ships for, the same price internationally. So It always feels a bit unfair is kind of one of the problems. So yeah, I haven't got any new merch coming out either. It's something that we want to work on. I just don't want it to be like we have our t-shirts and stuff and posters and that, but they're quite easy to do just to put an image on them. But what I'd love is more unique things. Obviously I had the plushie, but more action figures or kind of custom things that you kind of couldn't get anywhere else is kind of the things that I find more exciting. There is going to be some Wonder Quest merch, which is looking really cool. It won't be out when the season starts, but it'll be out before Christmas. So there's some cool stuff coming with that. Some really cool t-shirts, which I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have to say specifically what they are yet, but they're not normal T-shirts. I guess
man.
is a way I could say. So that's coming out. Anyway, question number 2.
Oh, I did have one more thing I just remembered.
Okay. Do you have a set of chairs coming out of the table?
No, it's so the game that I'm working on is going to be released in September. So possibly next month there may be a few teaser merch for the game.
Ooh.
So that could be quite cool.
That's cool. That's quick.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround.
Yeah,
But it should be
messing
exciting.
around. Let's see, because video games are notorious for getting delayed, so hopefully it does come out. You'll put that in stone now by mentioning it here.
That's what the developers have said.
Don't do a Wonder Quest.
It's not from my mouth, it's from theirs, so I'm holding them to it.
Right. Question number 2, this should be a quick one. What's your favourite song?
I don't really have one.
There we go, that was a quick one. Question number 3, what's your favourite YouTube video?
Like, ever?
And don't say one of mine, Squid, I know what you're like.
Ever? Or...
Well, let's do answer twice. So, what's your favorite video you've made, or the video you're most proud of? Let's do that first, and then just what's your favorite video you've ever watched, or whichever one just jumps to mind first, because it's kind of a difficult question to answer.
I think probably one of the most like different and unique videos that I've worked on that I'm quite proud of, which I didn't really take much part in, apart from writing it and stuff like that, was probably the Sky Island 100. Which was completely drawn. The script was done by me, and then obviously got Finball to voice act it, and I did all the editing for it. And that was like a quick, like 2-day turnaround. So, yeah, that was a really, really cool video. It was kind of weird, but I think it worked out pretty well in the end. And obviously, it's a completely new sort of style of getting something drawn for obviously a Minecraft series. So, yeah, I think that's one of the ones that I'm quite proud of. What about you?
Oh, in terms of one I've made?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't expect you to turn around and ask me that. I was just
We
there
both make
listening.
video stamps.
Well, no, like cause normally, like, I'd be thinking of my answer while you're talking, but I was just listening.
How about the moon one? That took ages to build.
Like, the moon one's kind of proud for me because it's kind of one of the first videos I did like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe even more so my one is called Cat to the Future, which is kind of my time traveling one. I think was, I think one of the times I've done a more complex storyline in a Lovely World video, because storylines in Lovely World videos are tough because I'm the only character that speaks, you know, and so it's kind of really hard to tell a story. And I think that's one of the times where there was quite a big build-up where kind of things were happening in episodes before that kind of weren't explained and then got explained. So I'm kind of happy with that one. Yeah, so like some of the Stampy shorts, quite like. I don't know. I'm kind of pulling a bit of a blank in terms of videos I've done, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of the Lovely World hit the target ones. I think it's more like ideas for like series rather than specific videos.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy with, I guess. But what about, like, ignoring us, just your favorite video on YouTube?
Wow, that is that's a big sort of question, because I've watched a lot of videos.
I can imagine.
That's crazy. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you off the top of my head. There isn't something that comes to mind where it's been my favorite. Like, I think one of my favorite sort of content for YouTube is probably where someone, like a YouTuber, does something funny and then they get it like animated in the sense of drawn and stuff like that. I love them kind of videos where they can take something from commentary and then the animators will go along. And I'm not even talking about Minecraft. I'm talking about, you know, just any sort of video where creators wanted it, you know, animated in a different style. I think that works so well, and they're one of my favorite videos to watch. So probably stuff like that.
Okay, and let's open this up to everyone else, seeing as we're rubbish answering these questions. Yeah, if people just comment down below what your favorite video on YouTube is, this is going to be a good way to share kind of the best videos, because there's a lot of like channels that do like the top funniest videos of this week, and they're kind of often like fail videos and stuff. But let's kind of do a quality list of just the best videos you've seen on YouTube. Maybe give because it's hard to give one, maybe people give their top 3 and just put in the title of the video so people can then search for it. And then that's everyone's homework, okay? Everyone's homework for this week. In the comments of this video, I want you to comment 3 of your favorite videos on YouTube, and you can't suggest any of our videos to try and flatter us. That's cheating.
Well, they can do. They don't exactly get anything for flattering us, so,
Okay.
Flatter away.
Right, so next question. So I haven't read all of these, by the way. I just saw a list of questions. So
All right.
right. If you had to change one video or series, what would it be and why? Well, that's interesting.
Like, change, like, not have it, or...
Well, so say if there's a video you made, but there's something that was wrong with it, that was bugging you. For example, in my life, this is something that's annoying me right at the moment. In my life, my Don't Press the Button, Stampy short, I went to write starring, but I wrote staring in the credits. So I said staring, think noodles. And that drives me crazy. So that's probably not the one I'd want to change the most because it's quite a minor thing, but that's something that I'd like to sort out spelling mistakes.
A series though. This is quite another tough question. I probably wouldn't say change a series. I'd probably say change the way I do series, to be honest with you. So I've recently been working on a completely different series, but I've been filming it. I'm basically in the middle of filming it right now, but I'm not going to release it until it's done. So that's the new kind of way I'm kind of doing YouTube now. Like after I've kind of done all the series with you guys and Ash and everything like that, that's the way I'm going to hopefully try and do it. Just to kind of stop, inactive sort of uploads and stuff like that and not finishing stuff. So, that's the kind of thing that I've been working on kind of this month that's, hopefully going to help out with content and stuff. So, yeah, step in the right direction.
And I think I would go back and just change some of the earlier Lovely World videos just because they're so different to kind of some of the current ones.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's very weird to watch it from the beginning until now. So I think I would go and sort them out, make them better, kind of have the quality, more consistent. Or even things like, you go and watch old Quest videos and our mics just aren't as good and stuff. Just those little things bug me. It's mainly series that I'm still doing today. Because if it's an old series, I don't care. It's kind of that was a part of history. It's kind of fun to look back on and see how I've improved. But say if someone wanted to go through and watch all of the Quest videos, they kind of have to get through the first ones where I think they're probably interesting to see because we're different, but they're probably not as good as the current ones.
Yeah.
So I'd probably change that a bit.
But they are pretty fun to look back on. I must admit, it is a piece of history, as you like. That's why I kind of like YouTube as well, because no matter how sort of, how long we do this for, it's one of the perks of the job where it's still going to be archived online, which I kind of love. I love that it's still going to be there, hopefully. But
yeah. Hopefully YouTube doesn't go down.
Get rid of it all.
Well, here's an interesting question then. This one's from me. So here's my question. If you, were starting YouTube again now and had all of the knowledge that you have, how differently do you think you'll do YouTube?
Clickbait. No, I'm joking.
So you mean you'll do what you do now back then is what you
Yeah.
that's what you're saying.
That's what I do.
So I say if you went back to Squid when Squid was starting his channel, but you just knew everything that was going to happen, you knew how popular Minecraft was going to become, how differently do you think you would have started YouTube?
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. But I mean the experience. Yeah, that's what you obviously need. That's the main thing about YouTube. You need the experience to be able to
but imagine you started with that experience.
So I started with the
saying.
experience.
So everything you know now. So you're the Squid as you are now, but with rewound time, and you're starting to do YouTube now. You know, would you do, you know, Squid Sky Island? Would you do the same series, or would you think, oh, I've done that before? Would you like how much would you draw from what you've learned? How much, you know, would you just try and do something different?
What
you know,
year would it be?
You know, roleplay hasn't become popular yet. You roleplay Minecraft videos.
Would it
you
be
try and
back
do
when I
them before
started?
anyone else? Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I'll probably just carry on then. But I'd probably just, you know, obviously the experience would be there, so I could do different sort of stuff. But I also think that the time that we started was also very crucial to you know, how far we've come. Because, you know, if we started this whole Minecraft Xbox thing now, then, you know, no one would be searching for it. It probably wouldn't be as popular. So I do think timing is crazy crucial with YouTube, you know. It's all about
But you
the
would
timing.
be starting at the same time anyway. You know, I mean, I know you did PC videos before console, but you're starting at the same time. I'm saying, like, so would you do Squid Sky Island? You know, would you do that?
Yeah.
Whatever you called it, that build-off thing. So you'll do it the same, and like just try and replicate what you've done before. Because wouldn't that be really boring for you? Because I know everyone else hasn't seen it, but you've kind of done it before.
I'd probably change the format. Obviously, you know, we'd have better mics. The planning would be different. Like you said, with that build off, it'd be completely different. But I don't think the videos themselves needed changing. Like, I think the commentary, you know, could do with updating and stuff like that. But I think the initial sort of the way I did them was, you know. It wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad. It's a hard question. How would you do it then? Let's just...
Well, this is because I've been thinking about this. This is why I brought it up. Because I've been thinking, if I started again, would I do My Lovely World? You know, would I call it My Lovely World? Would I do it the same? Because everything was kind of accidental. And like now, I'm so you know, would I call myself Stampy? You know, like I'm so attached to this stuff now because I've been doing it for so long. But, you know, if I started again and did it as different, people would be just as attached to that. So I think that I would, for my sanity, just have to do it completely different. I think I'll just try and basically start again.
What do you mean for your sanity?
I mean, obviously for me, I started off not doing Minecraft. I did all of these other games for ages. I think as soon as Minecraft came out, I would, day one that beta was released, I would jump on it, be the first YouTuber to be doing them, and try and start off immediately with really high quality planned videos, you know, kind of before, you know, like the Yogscast kind of really popularized that stuff.
Do you think that would have burnt you out though?
What do you mean?
Well, because like if you started doing like such high quality from the get-go, that's the level, that's the bar. You have to then replicate that level.
I want to start the bar as high as I can and keep raising it. It's not like need to like build it. You know, like I'd be the Stampy I am now with all of the knowledge that I have. You know, like I would be basically trying to carry on from where I am now and keep moving forward. You know, I'd be at this level and try and just keep getting better, but just no one would have seen it before. You know, it would be fresh to everyone.
Yeah. Would you ever no, that's kind of a bad question. I'd probably say, would you like do Halo again? Do you miss not doing Halo, like recording gameplays for it?
Like I don't think I would. I think that I wouldn't do. I mean, I'd still play it, whatever. But yeah, I think that I don't think I would. I think I'd skip all of those videos.
Yeah.
I think that it'd be nice just to kind of really plan exactly what I want my channel to be. You know, and like kind of just start as I want to carry on and kind of skip all of that, you know, because I've gone through all of the experience. I've gone through like the learning process. I've learned it now. I'm on the other side. If it would feel weird to kind of go back and do this, like why try and retread the steps I've already done? Why not just, you know, try and do it better? You know, this is kind of a metaphorical chance to do that, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
Just to start, you know, exactly, you know, when things start, they're generally not good, but then they're improved. And, you know, when they release a game or a console, you know, there's often problems, but then they update it and they improve it and then they work it out. You know, it would be a chance for me to start off with everything completely planned out perfectly. You know, I could start off doing Wonder Quest, you know, for example, right when Minecraft first came out, you know, when there was nothing else like that. You know, I can kind of, you know, it would give me a chance to kind of go back. I wouldn't want to just try and relive what I've done and try and act out the episodes I've done before, you know, and try and do them again. Because, I mean, it would be boring for me and, you know, it would be a chance for me to do things differently.
What video, Stamped, what video do you wish became popular?
What do you mean? Like what type of video, or
Yeah.
like one of my videos?
Yeah, like
or?
what? Like if apart from, is there any other sort of video that you did that wasn't Minecraft that you kind of wish became, you know, this is the game that I want to kind of do more stuff on?
So I think that I hoped that there'd be more from Lego Worlds, just because it looked so promising. I don't think it's like, oh, people aren't giving it a chance. I think that Lego Worlds has a long way to go through before it's really good. I think it looks really nice and it plays nice, but it needs a lot more. But like in terms of like series, like I wish that more people watch my King's Quest series.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I mean, I know it would never be as popular as Minecraft. Like, you know, it's a very story-driven game. You know, you play for it once or twice and that's kind of it. But I just think that game is incredible. Like, I think it's just, you know, it's probably one of my... It would definitely be in my top 5 games of, like, the last 5 years. You know, I think it's an amazing game. But, like, you never hear people talking about it, ever. And
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like that's a shame just because the game's so good, you know, and I've started messaging the developers and chatting to them and just said, oh, it's so, you know, like just chatting to them and, you know, they say they watch the Let's Plays and I feel like that's the series that I just wish was, you know, as popular as Minecraft Story Mode or something, you know, just because it's not a recognizable name, the King's Quest name anymore. So I don't necessarily wish my videos were more popular. I just wish the game was.
Yeah, it got more recognition.
I have no idea how well it sells or anything, but it gets really good reviews. Everyone who plays it loves it, but just no one really gives it a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think. So I kind of wish more people gave that a chance.
But this is one of the weird things about YouTube. Like you could release a video that you think's the best you've done, the best content, the funniest sort of, you know, video or whatever, but it's just weird how sometimes the YouTube sort of community doesn't really, you know, take it on. They kind of just brush it off because, like you said, it isn't really a recognizable sort of name or anything like that. But
well, I think the big change is that people used to more watch kind of long series, kind of like this podcast or something, you know, a long, unlike without fast cuts episode where not every second needs to be hilarious.
yeah.
Like, I think people used to watch Let's Plays like that, but now people are more moving to kind of more like funny montages or kind of a Let's Play where it's really quick cut and it's only the funny parts, it's only the hilarious parts, and it'll be a 10-minute video. I think more people are watching that and are moving away from a kind of a video with a kind of a slightly slower pace, but there's lulls, and then I think that makes the funnier moments happen because you've kind of seen the build up. But I think they're becoming less and less popular on YouTube now. I think people want the fast pace, they want the editing. Like, a lot of people want the editing, adding a lot of the humor, you know, where they kind of like zoom in on the face and they do like a silly expression and kind of like adding in sound effects and adding in memes and stuff. I think that a lot of people are kind of moving towards that rather than kind of a more traditional 20-minute Let's Play where people just chatting, kind of playing the game. I think that's kind of the biggest changes, and that's those kind of montagey videos. Like, you know, I've watched them. I can see, you know, they are funny, and, you know, if you just want to watch something quickly, like, you know, you don't need any backstory, you can just jump in and watch it and it's funny. But I kind of prefer the things where you kind of get into a story. And I'm not even talking about role play stuff, I'm talking about the story of the series. You know, we found the diamonds but then we lost them, you know, that's what I really enjoy in Let's Plays.
Yeah.
And I feel like that type of Let's Play is becoming less and less popular now.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, by the way, while we're on that sort of stuff, did you enjoy my little face tweak of yours?
Oh, I've not seen it yet.
Have you not seen
I've seen people have tweeted me pictures of it, so I've seen what I ended up looking like, but I've not seen you doing it to me.
That was great fun. That was amazing. You need to look at it. So basically, I tweaked Stampy's face. I did message him because I didn't want to like put it out and then obviously you being annoyed at it. So I just said to him, Stamps, can I just basically tweak your face? I'm going to try and make you look like the Grinch on Photoshop.
If you remember, I replied saying, just as long as you don't make me look silly. Knowing full well that was the entire point.
It's the entire purpose. Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to do that and not make you look silly, wouldn't it, mate? But
just make me look better. Just touch me up a little bit. Get rid of the wrinkles. Give me some muscles. I don't know.
Oh dear. But yeah, I made him look like the Grinch and it was good fun. So yeah. Just brace yourself, mate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anyway, we haven't got through these questions yet.
Okay.
Amanda and Eliza or Alyssa. I'm just gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Eliza. That's my guess. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But anyway, so what do we get to? Oh god, I don't like this one. You can do this one. Can you do any impressions? Talk or sing like a singer/actor? A cat has a really good Mickey Mouse impression.
A cat has a really good mission. I can do Donald Duck. That's easy.
Okay, you can't just say it. You got to do it. You can't just make a statement like that and not back it up.
What should I say? I can only say I want a Mars bar.
Say that then.
Okay.
You don't really have a choice.
Let me just. Okay.
I could do I think I can do just kind of general Donald Duck sounds. I don't think I can. If I just do, but I gotta rub my face when I do it. Right, 1 second. Let me just.
I just imagine you rubbing your face.
So what I do is I say it's Donald Duck washing his face. I go. What about me? Go try Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse is just like, oh hey kids. That's not. Is that Mickey Mouse?
Yeah. Oh boy! I've had a bright idea. So in answer to your questions, no, neither of us can do.
I did a pretty good Texas woman. Do you remember when you got trapped on the railway? Ready? You gotta be a maiden, Stamps. Oh no, I've got to be the maiden. You've got to be someone helping me, haven't you? Okay.
I don't know what's going on here, Squid. What's?
Help! Help! I seem to have dropped my handbag and somebody's stolen it. Oh, will somebody please help me?
Okay, here's a competition for everyone watching. I'll make this a real competition, okay? The first 2 comments I see that are able to tell us which Let's Play that voice first came out in, so don't give it away, Squid.
Okay.
First 2 comments will win on the Xbox One version of Minecraft the map packs for battle minigame for free. I'll do a private YouTube message of the codes, okay? Yeah, because I got given a few of them to give out. So whoever can say which Let's Play, and it's whoever does it first, the first 2. So if you've seen 2 people comment it already, then you're too late. So you've got to be quick, okay? And make sure you have the Xbox One version as well, because otherwise if you know the answer, comment it and just say in brackets, I don't have Xbox One, because otherwise you're stealing someone else's code. Yeah, sorry, I've only got them on Xbox One, I'm afraid. So there we go. There's the first Magic Animal Club podcast competition.
Wow.
Right, moving on. This is the last question, number 6. Can you describe your dream home or location?
Pretty much where I live now, to be honest. That's pretty much about it.
Yeah, anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You could live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly like in this house, but I love Yorkshire. Yorkshire's my favorite place ever. It's just
it's probably home to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is home
to you.
But no.
But what about dream house then? Let's go crazy. So
I've got a
no
plan.
limits. You're not limited by reality. What would you if you could live in a giraffe slide if you wanted to. You can live in whatever you want. What would you want to live in?
No, but I've got a plan. Okay, I have a plan for this. Right. So the plan is because I'm doing up the house that I'm living in at the moment, and I'm also getting an office. Well, I have an office. But what I'm gonna do later on in life is I'm gonna get myself a biggish house, and then I'm just gonna try and just make slides in it. I'm just gonna try and make it the wackiest house ever, and just try and make it my dream house. So swimming pool, slides, and maybe a mini amusement park. That'd be the dream.
You got a boring imagination. So if I could have any house with no physical boundaries, I'd have a flying house, okay? It can go wherever it wants to. It can float as well, so it can turn into a boathouse. And I can just fly, say if I need to go somewhere, I just go to sleep in my bed and I wake up and I'm wherever I want to be. Like BioShock Infinite. It'd be like a big balloon house. It'd be like the Up House. That's what I'd have.
Okay.
Actually, tell you what
about...
Let me start again. It will just be the Up House. There we go.
Just
There's my
be the Up
answer.
House. Do you get Kevin? Does Kevin come with it?
Yes, that's included.
Okay.
And Doug.
Do the same thing, but have realism.
No, realism's boring. I think that I like a home cinema would be a dream of mine, like a proper big screen, nice home cinema.
Yeah.
I think is something that I'd always love. I love watching films. We go to the cinema a lot. Going to the cinema is always a little bit stressful, like especially if we're seeing a children's film, just because.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm a snobby film person in the fact that if I'm watching a film, I just want to focus on the film, and I'm always scared that there's going to be people like talking to me throughout the film, or if like people are nudging into me, or I can't see or anything. Like if there's someone talking through like the film at the cinema, I become like the world's angriest person. Like I wouldn't say anything. You wouldn't. If you looked at me, you'd have no idea. I'd look happily content, but I'd be sitting there like swelling up on the inside, going crazy. So I'd love to have a proper surround sound, big screen home cinema. I think is something that I'd love to be able to have. There's not much else I want. Like I don't really like swimming much, so I wouldn't even care about like a swimming pool or anything. I mean, like a jacuzzi would be nice. I think.
Yeah, but
I guess I would like a slide would be good.
Here?
But like
I said, like slides and all that stuff. You just said you can go out and get a projector for like 200 quid stamps. You can make this dream like right now. Just go on Amazon.
I'd like a night. No, because I mean, I want a proper room set aside for a home cinema and a proper set. That's kind of the one thing that like I think of straight away. I mean, obviously I could say like a go-kart track in the garden would be amazing. You know, or like I'd love a hedge maze. Even if like you'd learn it. I'd love like an altering hedge maze.
Whenever
that
we
can
go
change.
on adventure maps, okay. What is the expression we say when we see a maze?
I know, but they're like Minecraft ones. Real ones.
They're just as annoying.
No, because you could do it. Because you'd learn it. Obviously, if it was your hedge maze, you'd learn it. But if imagine it doing hide and seek or like Nerf gun wars in a hedge maze, how fun would that be? That would be incredible. No, like a paintball set up in your garden.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
A paintball like course with like capture the flag.
Yeah,
that would be like I'd want to have the house that everyone wants to visit. Like the fun
definitely.
House. I think that would be good to play out all of that stuff. But the thing is, like, I really love playing video games. So even if I had all of this fun stuff, I'd probably still spend as much, if not more, time playing video games because, like I think I've said this before on the podcast. Like, there's things I want to experience and there's things that I want to do, but I'm never happier than when I'm playing video games. Like, that's always my happiest time. No matter, I could be at Disneyland riding my favorite ride, and it's something that I want to do, and I will go out and do. But it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily happier than if I was at home playing video. Like no surprise. Video games is, that's my big passion in that and video. So,
are you like
as long
me?
as I got a comfy place to play video games, I'm happy.
Yeah, you're happiest when you're like at your house. You're one of them people.
Yeah, I like being at home. I like watching films at home. I like playing games at home. So that's kind of a comfy sofa. My dream home would be a comfy sofa.
Oh dear. But yeah, why don't you guys join in as well on the Facebook page? Let us know what your dream house is. See if you can beat Stamps' comfy sofa.
See if you can be more imaginative than my comfy sofa. Oh dear. Right then, so I think that we're about getting time to the Stampy tip. So there is a Stampy tip suggested by Amanda and Eliza, but their tip is, why is the sky blue? And I don't know how long I can talk about that. I mean, I can tell you why the sky's blue, but then that's about it really.
Tell us why the sky's blue, Stamps.
Well, that's because there's particles, and when the light bounces off the particles, the light slows down, and then when the light's slower, it looks blue. That's kind of it. I know. That's why I said that isn't the Stampy tip. We're gonna have a different one suggested by Squid Nugget. So,
okay.
What's the? What's the? I thought I should have let you know, shouldn't I? Surprise! Squid has volunteered.
Yeah, me, pick me. Okay, Stampy's tip for today is... okay, let's go for a silly one. So you're on a boat, Stamps.
I am on a boat.
And you've just crashed on a desert island.
No, this always happens.
How does one survive?
On a desert island?
Yeah.
Well, okay, you got to let me know what is on the desert island. What resources do I have to work with? Is there lava and water so I can make a cobblestone generator?
This is okay. So imagine it. Okay.
I'm imagining, Squid.
So there's some animals. There's some wild animals there. Like boars, birds, things like that. Insects.
All the animals that begin with B. There's a bassoon there. Oh, that's an instrument, not
There's
an
a
animal.
bongo you can play on.
A
and you get a little bit
wild
bored.
bongo.
There's some coconut trees. There's some fruit trees.
This is easy. Settle down, do a bit of sunbathing, have a mango, play the bongo. It's easy. No worries.
You're surrounded by...
Book into the local hotel, see if they got any rooms available, get the all-inclusive package. That's simple. It's easy, that one.
Oh, dear. Great. Is that your answer?
There we go. There's my survival tips, okay, on a
Hope
desert
there's a
island,
Premier Inn.
okay, is to get a good holiday package where everything's included, and then you get free room service. Okay, that's my recommendation for surviving on a desert island. So if ever you find yourself in that situation, draw back to this moment. With this knowledge, you'll be able to survive. You're welcome.
How angry would... Imagine if they had like this downloaded, this one podcast downloaded, and they heard this moment, and that was the answer. The one chance at survival, and Stamps wants you to check into the nearest Premier Inn.
I don't know, rub some sticks together and make a fire. There we go. Then you won't get cold on your desert. That's the thing. When people don't think about desert islands, is they worry about the heat in the day and shade. It's the cold that gets you. Even though it's really hot in the day, because of the atmosphere, all the heat just goes away. It's like deserts. Deserts, like, you're going to freeze in the desert before you burn up at night. So in the day when you first arrive, focus on something that's going to keep you warm rather than something that's going to keep you cool in the day. There we go. There's my genuine advice, which is going to help absolutely nobody.
Chop a coconut in half, okay, and drink the coconut juice, right? And then you want to leave the two halves of the coconuts by like a tree or some big leaves that can catch the rainwater, and then that goes into the coconut shell. There you go. Something like that. No?
Brilliant, right. The two worst people to give tips on how to
Imagine if
go
me
watch
and you
Bear
got
Grylls or
stranded.
something.
We'd be
We'd be useless.
We won't last 2
Squid,
minutes.
There's no water, food, or Xbox Live. What are we going to do? Oh, dear.
Brilliant.
Anyway, time's up, everybody. Time is up. This is the end of the Magic Animal Club podcast, episode number 17. But do not fear. Next Sunday, there will be another episode of the Magic Animal Club podcast where we're going to be carrying on from where we left off. Hopefully, I'd have had more of an exciting week in the meantime. And we can chat a little bit more about what we've been getting up to. Do not forget to do your homework. I want 3 suggestions for videos from all of you in the comments down below. It's probably too late to do the competition now, because if you haven't done it already, people have probably done it before you, so don't worry about that. But yeah, we are out of here.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next Sunday.